First, I'll call the contact center and speak to an agent. I'm not enrolled yet, so this will be the organization's opportunity to create a voice print for me. When I call the IVR, I enter my customer ID.
Thank you for calling Fair Bank. Please enter your customer ID number followed by the pound sign. Thank you for calling Fair Bank. My name is Wes. Can you start speaking so I can enroll you in our voice authorization application?
Of course, the real greeting would be something like, "Thanks for calling Fairbank. You're speaking with Wes. How can I help you today?" Once the customer had described their inquiry, Wes would ask them for a few points of identification: their full name, their address, their date of birth, and perhaps their verbal password. He'd also be checking that these details match those in the CRM or the core banking system. Once verified, Wes might also ask the customer if they consent for their voice to be used for authentication next time they call. He'd capture the outcome of that identity check and the customer's consent so that next time the lengthy ID process wouldn't be necessary.
The enrollment was successful. Have a great day.
Now I'll show you an authentication scenario. First, calling an agent. I'm calling the same number again and entering the same customer identifier, and then I'll press 2 to get through to Wes. Keep an eye on the right-hand side of the screen while I talk. You'll see the notification that Wes gets on his screen once I've been successfully authenticated.
Thank you for calling Fair Bank. Please enter your customer ID number followed by the pound sign. Thank you. If you'd like to use our automated self-service system, please press 1. To speak to a representative, please press 2. Thank you for calling Fair Bank. My name is Wes. How may I help you?
Oh, hi Wes. My name's Cam Adams. I need to transfer some money to my mum, but I can't seem to do it in my online banking for some reason. I really need to get the money to her by tomorrow though. Is there some way you can just do the transfer for me?
Thank you. You are successfully authenticated. How can I help you?
As you saw, using the voice print I created earlier, I was authenticated within about 10 seconds without using any questions, verbal passwords, or PINs. The agent was notified that I was who I said I was and was able to move straight on to helping me out with my inquiry. So it all happened in the background, seamlessly, and without interrupting the flow of conversation. And, as a customer, my request got sorted out much more quickly. Now suppose that I'm a fraudster, trying to get access to somebody's account. However, I'm someone who's tried to perpetrate this fraud before, and I'm known to Fair Bank. That means that my voice is enrolled in a list of known fraudsters, and if I call, I'm going to be detected, and the agents are going to be alerted so that the call can be handled appropriately.
Thank you for calling Fair Bank. My name is Wes. How may I help you?
Hey Wes, my name's Dodgy Jim. I'd like to transfer the entire contents of my bank account to my other bank account that's in Switzerland. Is that something that you can help me with this afternoon?
You are not authenticated. Please answer the following question.
This time, my voice print didn't match the one associated with this customer ID, but it did match one in the list of known fraudsters. This meant the agent was immediately alerted while the call was still in progress and could then handle the call according to the procedure for known fraudsters. At the same time, an alert was generated in NICE Actimize Risk Case Manager, which is NICE's compliance workflow tool. If a transaction actually ended up occurring on the call, a risk officer could check on the nature of the alert and of the transaction itself to decide whether it should be blocked. Obviously, preventing fraud from being perpetrated in real time is great, but it's reactive. To be holistic in our approach to fraud, we really need to expose attempts before they turn into successes. This is where NICE proactive fraudster exposure can help. As a fraud analyst, I'll use Fraud Center to keep an eye on interactions worth investigating. We use a number of inputs to generate a fraud score, whether voice prints matched or not, using analytics to detect whether suspicious terms were present in the conversation, and abnormal call volumes on particular accounts. If I drill into those suspected fraudsters, I'll see a list of individual speakers, the number of accounts they've each attempted to access, and the number of individual transactions. Many of these are already being investigated, so let's look into fraudster number 6. He's attempted to access 3 accounts and a few different fraud risk factors were present. I can listen to these calls and decide whether or not to add this fraudster to the watch list. Since I know all 3 calls are by the same speaker, I might only need to listen to one. Once I've added him, agents will be alerted in real time whenever he calls, just like we saw earlier.